there are other real estate agents that have gone into like being funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't invent that, but they definitely do make fun of the house. And that really rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, these people are in this market where houses are crazy expensive and you're devaluing it right off the bat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the walkthrough, the most underrated, valuable marketing podcast in real estate history. I am 𝐷𝐸𝐚𝐢𝐤, aka the broke agent, aka the monarch of memes.
Not
Jason,
bad.
what do you think about that?
Not bad. I like it.
Okay.
We're stepping
The
up.
monarch of memes, the sultan of shares, and I'm joined here by Jason Cassidy, also known as the San Diego sales guy.
It's a working title.
Or the open house overlord. How about that one?
Much better. Much better.
Okay.
Anything with the word Lord in it is gonna get my vote.
Exactly. Anyway, we are joined here by a very special guest, possibly Jason, the guest of the year, the most viral real estate agent of 2024, the viral virtuosa. How about that one? The emo realtor, the deadpan queen, ladies and gentlemen, 𝐌𝐨𝐬𝐚𝐢𝐤. How you doing, Caitlin?
I'm so good. I'm good.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the show.
Welcome
we are
to the
pumped
show.
to have you. You know, Jason, it's good to have guests back because I did a solo episode on January 2nd and just ranted by myself for 20 minutes, and it was painful.
The guests are the star of the show. Obviously, when we have someone big like Caitlin, it's going to be much, much better. But, I like to hear your take every once in a while too, Eric. Thanks for starting off the year right for us.
That's right. I appreciate it. It's good to have guests back. And we are going to talk about social media plans for 2025. Then we're going to break down Caitlin's viral content, how she comes up with these videos, how she converts leads on Instagram, and what she does to make a post continue to go viral. If you like the sound of that, please throw this video a like, subscribe to the channel, because it's the best way to support the brand. So we're going to lead this off with, it's a new year, 2025. I want to hear your guys' social media plans and what you're leaving in 2024. So Caitlin, I'll start with you. Do you have a plan for 2025? Will you just shoot from the hip, or what's your plan going into the new year?
My plan is to maintain. And so when I hit my groove, I found out that I had 3 pieces of content that people really liked, like 3 formats rather. One is my asshole home tour, which, is my crouchy one. And then I've got a pros and cons that I do of like neighborhoods, or sometimes I do it of topics. And then I have one where I literally just like stand in front of the lit mirror in my bathroom in the corner, and I just kind of just talk about, it's my miscellaneous. Okay. And so my plan is to try and get one of those out a week. And that's it. Be active in stories, because that's where I feel like people really connect. You get exposure through your reels. At least I do personally, because I'm an Instagram girly. But we're gonna connect in stories, and we're gonna get exposure through reels, and just maintain, just get the work done and not get too busy, too bogged down, because now I've just got people knocking down my door wanting to work with me, right? So
amazing.
Humble brag. I like it.
I'm just so busy.
Yeah,
exactly. Maintain, Jason. That's what I've been doing for the last 15 years at the gym, is just maintaining the same exact
not getting
body.
stronger, just maintaining.
I've been doing 30-pound dumbbell curls since I was like 18. It never goes up. It never goes down.
That means you're still at your peak, though. That's what I'm hearing.
I like the optimism.
Exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So are you doing one of those reels per week, or is it all 3 of those content buckets, like 3 per week?
No. One of each type per week. Literally, like I'm trying to get out 3 reels per week.
Got it. Okay. And then what are you leaving behind in 2024? Is there anything that wasn't working for you last year? I know all your content was crushing basically, but is there something that is a trend that you want to stop doing or forget about basically?
So really, I only hit my groove in October. So this is all fresh for
new.
So yeah, basically everything I did before October, we're not going to do that. One thing that I played around with a lot was like trending audio and trying to do like voiceovers, and none of that, because you have to spend so much time going through content to be dialed into what the memes are, like what the trends are. And for me, and at least my kind of content, that's not what people would connect with, is when I would create content like that. So why waste my time trying to keep on top of those trends? So I don't put, the only audio I put is like my own wonderful, droll voice. So we're not doing any music. We're not trying to stay on top of those things. We just focus on the things I know people like about my content, and no
I like
trends.
that. Original audio. Leave trending audio behind in 2024. I wish I could do that because my entire life is based off of these trending memes.
You're
So
right.
I
So
wish I had your
you're to a
originality.
different. So my advice does not apply to everyone. It's like
To me
what?
specifically, but it should apply to the other real estate agents. Jason, what about you? What are you going to work on in 2025? Your
Good call.
YouTube channel, possibly?
Well, first and foremost, YouTube is going to be in my cards for 2025. Now, for those of you who
Bullshit.
are going to clip this and go back to the beginning of 2024 and 2023 and 2022, when I've also said that YouTube is going to be part of my business plan in those years, just don't worry about it. Find something better to do with your time and go build your own YouTube channel. Don't worry about me. That being said,
you have a book behind you. You have a YouTube book behind you. Have you read it?
Caitlin, we didn't bring you on the show for a therapy session or for mindset performance coaching.
Session.
This is.
Have you not seen my videos though?
Feeling very attacked right now.
Okay.
But that being said, Eric, this is the year of high quality video listing videos. So here's the funny part is we've done our Gary Vee kind of predictions for 2025, and we've talked about the non-polished stuff coming back, right? Raw behind the scenes. And that's going to be there too. I'm not going to say that there's going to be, come with me today, my vlog content, stuff like that. But I want a Benny in my arsenal. I want a Bammy. I want a generational listing video. I have some listings that are coming up here in Q1 that are going to be in that ilk, that $1, $2, $3 million. So we've already started working with a videographer to put a Benny on the map, because I did a lot of these, never a Benny by means, but I did a lot of like really nice listing videos where we had actors involved and stuff like that back 2015 to like 2019. And I feel like 2020 through 2024, I got away from that a little bit. Did a lot more of the talking head, agent to agent. Here's 3 things I do when I'm getting ready for my listing presentation, right? And that was fine for a few years, but I am leaving that behind in 2024. No more talking head, agent-facing centric content. We are going back into the high quality listing videos with stories and potentially actors and different characters in order to be featured on the 2025 Bammys as a listing video of the year. How about that?
That's good. That's our real estate content award show, Caitlin, which I believe you were nominated.
Yeah, she was nominated. Yeah,
I lost to Benny.
Yeah, Benny. I mean, for those who don't know,
were you up for listing video, or were you up? Did you lose the hide and seek?
No, I was up for listing video, which people in the comments said, why wasn't she for funniest?
Yeah, there was too much.
I don't want to criticize. I don't want to criticize the organizational choices.
Well, you just did. It's either funniest or most original or listing video. I put you in the listing video category. I thought you would appreciate that.
I could have just swept them all if
That's right. I remember DMing you at this and saying, shake it off. You were up against a generational listing video. Any other year, you would have taken it home.
That is true. Well, you could win it in 2025, and we'll get into your videos in a second. Jason, I'll break down quickly what I am doing in 2025, and that is a focus on quality over quantity. I have focused the last 10 years of building the Broke Agent on just getting shots up, posting, a meme or a post every single day, but that's not really doing much for the brand anymore. I'm not seeing that growth that I used to. But when I post a really high quality reel or something that's actually really funny, that hits way harder than just posting, 15 things a week to try to get more engagement to my account. So I'm going to be focusing on a lot more high quality and hoping that continues to grow the brand. Of course, I'm going to be doing as many green screens as possible on the BAM account. And I'm going to be hyper focused again on collecting emails. I kind of strayed away from that in 2024 because we were pushing so many events, which do of course get emails, but it's our number one distribution method. It gets the most clicks. It's the best way to get your audience off of these platforms. So I'm going to be doing a lot more lead magnets and just post, mini chats to actually get people to sign up for our email list so they could see the value of our BAM emails. And then in 2024, I agree, Caitlin, I'm going to be leaving some of the trending stuff behind and try to get a little bit more original with my content. So that was a good piece of content advice. All right, Jason, I think it's time we get into Caitlin's.
Let's do it. That's why everybody's here.
That's why they're here. They don't need to hear me repeat the same thing that I've said for the last 3 weeks on the show about what trends leave behind. Let's get into Caitlin's videos. And I want to tee this up because it's really, really hard to come up with unique content in the real estate space. But Caitlin, you've done it and you have gone viral over and over and over again. And I want to start off with the Welcome Home Loser video that you posted that went insanely viral.
This primary suite is so secluded from the rest of the house that when you die, they might not find your body for weeks. The views here would allow you to look down on other people, which isn't healthy, but seems like it's really important to you. This home has a movie theater, so it's the perfect place for you to not actually pay attention to the movie and scroll on your phone for 3 hours. This kitchen has an incredible gas range that would be here for you if you ever decided to give the microwave a break. These vaulted ceilings are even higher than those societal beauty standards that you can only reach with a filter. This tub is so large that not even you could fill it with your tears. But you could drown. This stunning office would be the perfect place for you to hang your degree on the wall if you had finished instead of dropping out 2 semesters ago after you finally realized that you were just living the life that everybody told you to live instead of being in touch with your own values. And there's a bathroom attached.
So many questions on this. First, how did you come up with the deadpan? Did you do this before real estate, or did this just come organically to you? Like, when did you first do this sort of video?
October.
Okay.
Like it just
A few months ago.
Yeah. It's fresh.
Yeah. And was this something you had done before in content, or did you get inspired by someone else, or did you just pull out that mini mic and start winging it?
No, so I definitely had played around with funnier content before. I enjoy that kind of content, but the deadpan home tour, I had been thinking about it for a long time, and I tried to explain it to my fiance. I was like, I have this idea where I talk about mean things in the house, and I just am like, you'll be able to poop alone just like you'll die alone. And he didn't get it. Which is fine because it's hard to convey that concept verbally and understand how it's going to work. And so then I connected with Tina Edwards and Paige Steckling. And if you do not know them, they're hot shit in Utah. Okay. They're hot shit in Utah real estate. And they had this listing that was just gorgeous. And so one day I said, hey, I have an idea. Can I just go get into that listing and film some content? And they said yes, and they asked 0 questions. And so I went in there, and that's where I filmed the first one. And because at that point I had nothing to lose. I had 1,400 followers. I had grown that over the course of a year. And so I was like, I have this idea. I might as well try it out. Like, what's the worst that can happen? It's horrible, and it performs the same as all my other stuff.
Right.
So I went for it, and it worked.
You swung and you hit it out of the park. That's what you're saying here. So you had the natural shot. Like, you came up with the jokes. I mean, you obviously you know what to say. But like, I've seen, I don't want to say it because I think we've had a video like this on like the Bammies, but I've seen where like people have made fun of the house, and I didn't like it, and like I just didn't like the flow of people going through and making fun of the house. But you're making fun of like the viewer, and it was just a fourth wall break while showing the house that I thought was fantastic. So I thought it was the greatest video. I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, I have, like, there are other real estate agents that have gone into like being funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't invent that, but they definitely do make fun of the house. And that really rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, these people are in this market where houses are crazy expensive, and you're devaluing it right off the bat. I don't even understand how sellers are letting you walk through. They must be the coolest people ever to let you walk through and make fun of their piece of property. And so I didn't like that. So
I've seen those where someone says, you know, this kitchen's a piece of shit, but you're calling us a piece of shit, which is honestly refreshing.
Even better.
I like that. That was a great point, Jason, making fun of the actual viewer. And then what's so genius about these videos is I'm sure the retention's amazing. I bet your watch time, basically everyone's watching 80, 90 to 100% of the entire video because you keep waiting for each joke. Like, you almost can't believe the first one.
Yeah.
And then you actually say some, normal stuff about the house. So sometimes it's not a joke. It's house joke, which I think is a brilliant formula too, because you're just constantly waiting for the punchline. And then when it comes, you're like, oh yes, I'm just getting insulted again.
It's so contrasting. It's this tub is so big, you could fill your tears with it. You know what I mean? So you are showing off the house and talking about some feature of the house, but then you're obviously contrasting the other. It's really well done. Good job.
well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So you said you had 1,400 followers when you first posted one of these. How many followers do you have now?
Ooh, I hit 80,000 just barely.
Yeah. in 3 months, which is unbelievable. So anyone who isn't following Caitlin, go follow her right now, because all of these videos are getting absolutely insane engagement. So I wanted to ask you, when you have a video like this go viral, how do you capitalize on it in terms of converting to your actual real estate business? Like, are you responding to comments? Are you getting emails from people? Like, what's your plan when you see a post popping off?
So I honestly feel like mine they don't like they don't go off like that. They perform pretty steadily. Like, I just get the same kind of reviews. I feel like I can expect what they're going to do. Some of them, they top off a little sooner than others, but I don't. Thing I love about this is that I don't feel like my growth has been like, wow, this one video just popped off and now I have all these viewers from this one video. This is like a steady growth. And I have pretty steady, predictable views on my videos. So yeah, when I post it, I will leave it alone for a couple hours and then I come back to the comments. I don't know if you've gone through in the comments, but I've gotten the feedback that going like the replies I do in the comments are fun for people to look at too, because I have a good time in the comments as well.
Mhm.
This is, I
So
mean, it's very much like Wendy's Twitter, like social
yeah,
media manager, right? They've developed like a brand of their own where they're just roasting people on Twitter and like other brands and stuff like that. So now, because you had that in the video, you're in the comments. People want to read your comments too, because they know that they're either going to be funny or you're going to roast or something like that. So yeah, it's something to look forward to.
yeah.
Which is so much better than just saying thank you
So
or
much
a
better.
fire emoji or liking something. You're continuing the piece of content by continuing to add humor and value to it. So are these, like, all these new followers, you said you spend a lot of time in your stories. Are you ever putting them into a landing page or collecting their emails, or like, how are you converting clients from these? Because I'm sure a lot of people are like physically reaching out to you now to list their property. So what's your strategy with that?
So that's something that I feel like I need to work on.
Okay.
uh, but I do have some ideas for. I want to be collecting emails. I want to have a weekly email newsletter because I do believe that that's like one way that I can insulate myself from whatever Instagram wants to do at some point, right? Because right now I'm totally vulnerable to Instagram's whims. But if I have my own email list built out, then I'm okay no matter what. I own my own list. Um, so that's one thing that I'm going to work on. And I feel like the reason I haven't been able to figure out what to do with an email is because I haven't figured out what I can do to it that'll make it like jazzy, that will make it unlike other things. But I did recently have an idea that, oh, excuse me, that has nothing to do with real estate that I think I'm going to add into my emails because it's been a point of discussion in my stories that people got really involved in. And so I think I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to
Politics,
subscribe to no, oh my God, no.
Just one political opinion every
Canadian
single week.
politics.
That's smart.
Perfect.
No, I'm gonna have one little highlight section of my emails that is this particular thing because when I was talking about it in stories, people got super involved, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
okay. Well, we'll have to go follow along on your Instagram stories
Yeah.
then to get a little preview. So, what kind of stuff are you posting in your stories? You say that you get a lot of interaction in there too. How are you differentiating that content from the listing videos?
Posting stories is more like personal stuff. So I'll be like, "Hey, look at this mountain." That's uh sometimes I'm a little more serious. Like my nephew is going through cancer for the third frickin' time,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and I reposted something about him going through cancer. And so
Sure.
it's not all just dark humor, although
Hmm.
there is definitely some of that in there. Um and I don't know if you noticed, but like in my videos, I don't talk about myself at all. And I think real estate agents do that a lot in their listing videos. They're like, I'm the best real estate agent because I am a top 500, which I hate that shit because what does that mean to the customer? Like, what does that mean to them? Nothing. It just is a way for you to like feel more validated. And so in my listing videos, I don't talk about myself, but in my stories, I'm more apt to actually talk about who I am. And I still am not saying like I'm the best agent unless it's a joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's easy to show. Yeah, just show some behind the scenes. Make sure people know that you're a person, right? Obviously, and that you do business. And
yeah.
so, but as opposed to putting out your top 500 award, you can just show, yeah, like I'm pulling up to this showing. Check out this funny thing that this house has, right? This crazy bathroom or something. So you're showing that you're working, but at the same time injecting a little bit of your personality into it.
Yeah, if there is a super weird feature of a house, I'm more likely to put it into stories where I'm like,
Right.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of put it into a feed where it can live forever and then you
Of
can get in
course.
trouble.
Yep. Of course. Yeah. It's good.
So I have some more videos of yours. I want to play the first mortgage video. I thought this video was amazing as someone who's looking to get their first mortgage, and you were just completely calling out the anxieties of someone, you know, a first-time home buyer, and kind of what you went through or what was going through in your head. So let's play this video, the first mortgage, and then react to it.
I remember getting my first mortgage. Yeah. We're good. And being so scared and nervous that I was going to make some mistake, that the bank would just like throw me out one day and be like, what are you even doing here? The audacity that you have to come in here and think that you can own a house, and that everybody was just scrutinizing me so much and waiting for me to slip up so that they could be like, aha, we knew you weren't ready for this. We knew that you are just an adolescent that doesn't know anything about being an adult, and you're just masquerading. You don't seem like an adult. That's kind of what I assumed was going to happen, which is laughable now, because what you need to know is that banks want to give you money. That is their whole business model. Mortgage lenders want to do mortgages. They make money that way. They are going to scrutinize you, but it's not because they're trying to find reasons to not lend to you. They're literally just doing math. So stop being obsessed with this idea that like you are somehow unworthy, and just talk to someone and get some numbers. And even if the numbers don't line up, no one is going to throw you out and be like, get out of here, you poor. Who let you in here? Security is not going to escort you out unless you take too many dum-dums.
So first, in terms of unpolished, Jason, this is the framework right there. The camera falls right off the bat. There's, you know, you don't have it like highly edited to the point where if you make a mistake, you're getting it out of the video, which makes the video super relatable. And then instead of doing your typical real estate, you know, here are 3 lenders to talk to get your first mortgage, or here's how to go about getting your first mortgage, you actually touched upon the emotion that a first-time buyer would feel. And that fear that, you know, you do feel like a teenager, kind of like, well, I'm just a kid. How am I actually going to get a mortgage here? I don't even know what the hell this is. Like, how is this possible? So I thought that video was really good. What do you think, Jason?
Caitlin, okay. You posted that in June or July, and you like popped off, or you had your viral video go in October. Is that right?
Yeah.
If you take that video down and repost it right now, it'll go viral
crush.
again. Like that,
Absolutely.
it'll crush, because it hits every mark that we're trying to talk about, where it's like raw, unpolished, just like Eric said. You edit really well. I don't know. Do you edit your own videos?
Yeah. I just,
Okay, so-
I don't even pay for CapCut. I just use the free version.
Yeah. Do you? So you have like this is going to be such an old callback, but you guys remember Jenna Marbles?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you have the same editing
2014.
style where you kind of like you'll clip in. You did like a little look, and it has nothing to do, but like it just stops the video just enough. And so this was like pre-TikTok editing. This is early YouTube, but you do a really good job with that. And you're telling the heartfelt story of what it was like to get your first mortgage. That video, now that you have a little bit more of a following, will go like rock. Now, I don't know, this is an Eric question, like if you repost the same video, does Instagram know it's a repost? I don't know, maybe change some captions or change some stuff around, or reshoot that same video, because it will go wild right now that you have a little bit more of the following, because that was so good.
Thank you.
What I would do, I would just repost that video. So you could use an app called the Repost app, or you could just download it from your Instagram, Caitlin. But then you could put a text-based hook at the beginning. So you're not really changing anything, but maybe it's the title of what the video is about. Like, are you scared of getting a mortgage or something like that? So then you have that hook right there, and then it's just the same video. But we always recommend, if you have a video that you posted before you had an actual following, or you have a video that did well just 3-4 months ago, repost it anyway, because 80%, 70% of your audience hasn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm recycling content all the time. It's a little different for real estate agents, but I think that's still a viable content strategy this year, is going back a year, 2 years, 3-4 months, and just seeing, hey, this crushed now, it'll probably crush again, or just change up the format. Like you could basically make that into a blog post, Caitlin, that you could embed into your email.
Yeah.
that the title could be, "Are you scared to get your first mortgage?" And then it talks about your fears as to it. Like all of the diction in that could be into an email, I think.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
Yes.
keep it coming, like that type of content, right? Sitting in the car, raw, unpolished, whatever, and just sharing stories about the first time you did this. Or, I mean, obviously, as real estate agents, we have a treasure trove of clients that, so you can
Yeah.
always just be like, I had a client that
Yeah.
told me this or had this story, right? So it doesn't always have to be you, but the more you, the better. But like you just tap into those kind of like in the car, doing your ponytail as you're talking, right? It's like, hey, I know that camera's there, but I'm still doing this stuff in the meantime. Like keep that going. More of that, but that specific video, repurpose that if you can.
It's so much more conversational as opposed to producing content to produce a piece of content. So when I film content, especially a green screen, I feel like I am creating a piece of content right now. The way you did that piece of content, I'm just popping into something that she would be ranting in her car regardless of, well, it'd be insane if you were doing that just solo, actually.
I mean, I just
Maybe you
pushed
do.
record this time. It happens.
Right. Right, exactly.
Love the editing style though. That like I called back to Jenna because I used to like love her YouTube because I loved the style of the editing, not necessarily what I mean. Yeah, I liked what she was talking about too. But it
That's
was
so
always the
funny that you
editing.
say that. Cause like maybe that's where I get this, like, maybe that's why I like it, is because I did love things like Jenna Marbles and I hadn't put those things together, but I'm sure that in some way that kind of thing has influenced me.
Didn't she get like
So
Me Too'd out or something?
I
I know
don't
she
know.
like
something changed with
something
her.
happened with her, and I thought it had
Yes.
something to do with not Me
She
Too'd
was-
out, but some scandal or something.
She was one of Barstool's first employees.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was OG creator.
Yeah,
So we had the listing video, we had the storytelling. Another content bucket that you mentioned are these pros and cons videos.
Yeah.
So let's play one of those right now.
Pro, magnificent views of both the mountains and the valley. Con, the geotechnical engineering standards for each home site vary city by city because there is no state set standard. Pro, you've got the tactical advantage should you need it. Con, even if your home is built on solid rock, there may be a layer of clay underneath that could become slick and unstable with water runoff. Pro, easy access to the outdoors. Con, about 30% of state legislators are involved in real estate in some way. So when a home builder cuts corners and your home quite literally falls into a ravine, the builder can exhaust you emotionally, financially, get you to settle out of court, sign an NDA, all while they suffer little to no legal ramifications.
So again, joke, information, and then you're also popping up in different parts of the screen. So your eye is always refocusing, which is also really effective, which people recommend in editing now too, instead of just, cutting to me on the mic. It's a setting change. It's you over here. It's you in the bottom left. It's you in the bottom right. So in terms of like the TikTokification editing style that people are doing right now, I think it's a perfect video. So do those perform as well for you as the listing videos, the pros and cons videos?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty even. I think the ones that perform the worst, but I'm happy with the performance on all of them, are just the straight talk to camera. But I'm fine with whatever.
Yeah.
You could go a whole series with that, right? You could go pros and cons of living in Saratoga, pros and cons of living in Salt Lake City, and where you highlight 3 or 4 different things about the neighborhood. And then, yeah, either the pro is serious and then the con is funny, or the con is serious and the pro, however you decide to do it. But yeah, that's really, really good. I kind of like, it's like when someone asks you in a job interview what your biggest weakness is, and then you're like, oh, you make it something that's actually a strength, right? You could do that to where the con is actually something funny. It's not actually a con, right? So you were actually hitting real cons in there. That was a really informational video.
Yeah.
But you did a really good job contrasting the two. And you could literally just go through every neighborhood that you work and have videos like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get a lot of feedback that I am so very authentic. That's what people like about me, which is funny because, like, I have human emotions. I'm not just deadpan all the time. So it's funny that people are getting this, like, authenticity is how they're responding to this. And I think it's because I'm not afraid to talk about real things, because people live in places that have cons, so I'm not scared that people aren't going to buy houses if I'm honest about the cons of an area, or or what they need to know.
Yeah. People like people who have an opinion on something. That was another thing I want to focus on in 2025 for my content. Instead of just explaining what's happening in the social media world, actually giving my opinion as to why I think this is good or why I think this is bad. It just makes content so much more interesting. There's a reason why the Portnoys of the world have such large followings and people respect them. It's because of the honesty. And instead of you just saying, oh, everything's so amazing, the con is actually a good thing, you're just straight up telling people why this would suck. Like their house could literally tumble down that hill if there was rain or sleet or something like that.
That's a true story,
like
by the way. I like that last shot. I'm sitting at the site where 2 homes fell into a ravine.
Oh, so there was
Oh
a
my
meta
God.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I think another thing that my pros and cons videos in particular help me with is that people that know, like, you can take that at surface level, right? And just take in the information. But then if you are tapped into what's actually like happening, you kind of understand that I know what's going on too, if that makes sense. So I'm conveying to people not only the information, but I'm conveying to people in Utah that I understand what's going on in Utah.
Exactly. I wanted to pull this up. I went to your tap link, which is like your link tree,
Yeah.
and you add an extra piece of marketing where you actually name the house or the listing that you're talking about. So you have all these names. I go straight to your link tree and it's, Roofy's house, and there's a hot tub, showerhead house, fake death house, password house, Windows 98 house, hot dogs and Mountain Dew house. And then you have the how much is your home worth. So that's just like an extra level of marketing where you're actually naming the house as opposed to just saying the name of the address. I think that's really brilliant.
Right, because in my video, those all will correspond to something I said about the house in the video. And so no one's going to remember like 428 Whistle Tree Avenue. No one's going to remember that. And so I feel like it's just easier to be like, oh, this is the one I made the joke about the hot dogs and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Usually the
exactly.
homes are titled Via Blanca, or
Right.
she's like hot dogs and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
So there's another post that you did. I have it in the notes here. It's the funny date video, but it's a way to talk about yourself as a real estate agent without saying, hey, look, I'm a real estate agent. And I thought this was really clever.
Those of you who would like to be my client at some point, I just want to let you know I do have some rules that my clients need to abide by. And the first is that you can't fall in love with me, sort of. I mean, obviously you can fall in love with me like the heart wants, what the heart wants, but unfortunately I am unable to reciprocate. So you just need to know that at the gate, because I am in a fairy tale style romance with this man. He is the complete package. He is kind. He is funny. He is smart. He has helped me access layers of joy and happiness that I didn't know I was capable of feeling. That being said, I am a reasonable human being, and if you have a net worth in the bonkers category and you don't believe in prenups, then I think the conversation's worth having. So, thank you.
So again, this is a video that would be funny regardless of the industry, but you just make that little mention at the beginning about, if you're a client, you can't fall in love with me. So you're still calling attention to the fact that you're a real estate agent. So it's a great piece of marketing, but you're not even talking about anything real estate related.
Mhm.
So anyone watching this, try to draw some inspiration from this is how you could kind of wrap in the fact that you're selling real estate without just hammering that fact all the time.
There was I think because I had seen your other content, I knew there was a joke coming at the end. So I watched your watch time was probably high again, because when you started it off, you realized that there was going to be something at the end and how much you were going into your love with your fiance. And it's like, okay, but we all have significant others. Like, why is she going into this so much? Something's coming. And I knew there was a punchline, so I had to see till the end.
Do you feel pigeonholed at all right now where you have to keep producing the same type of content? I know for me, I always have to be funny, obviously, on the Broke Agent page. Anytime I switch it up, it gets zero engagement. Do you feel like now, if you were to do a serious listing video, that your audience would not be as receptive? Or, how do you feel like that from a creative perspective?
Oh, I do not actually feel pigeonholed. I feel quite freed up because I'm spending
Good.
so much less time trying to develop content ideas. I'm like, I already know what works for me. I already know what I'm good at. And so the cool thing is I feel like this is applicable to so many things. And so no, I don't feel pigeonholed. I have a listing coming up that I'm going to make more serious listing media for, but I'm going to be posting my high quality walkthrough on my YouTube channel, because I'm going to keep my Instagram feed kind of pure, deadpan, like that kind of content. But I acknowledge that there's some need for a variety of content when you're doing marketing. And so I will be posting that kind of thing, but have it over here so that it exists. I can link to it. People can go access it. It's going to be on my listing, website, but it isn't going to muddy up my feed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're getting creative too, sometimes you do have to shoot 2 videos, right? It's because the one video that's going to go viral with the agent community and the BA and get a BAMI and all this type of stuff maybe isn't the one that showcases the house as much. And so like sometimes the clients might not like that or might not get that. So you might need a secondary listing video that just highlights the house so you can show that to your clients and let them know, hey, I do have the box checked with a great listing video that highlights the house, but I took a liberty for a second video here that happened to get more virality amongst the agents. So like twofold. Sometimes you need both.
Yeah.
What's great about this too, there's no budget involved, right? Like you said, this is film. I mean, this is your phone. This is no editing. You're not even paying for the paid version of CapCut, mini mic. So anyone here or listening to this that thinks that you need to have the fancy mic setup, you don't need it. You don't need the fancy camera. You don't need anything like that. You could just whip out your phone and do it. So your other social platforms, are you posting these to TikTok? You said your YouTube's going to be kind of more serious listing videos, but what's your plan to dominate all social?
So TikTok and YouTube to me are kind of just secondary. Instagram is where I feel like I get my views, where my audience lives. And so TikTok and YouTube I post to just because I'm like, I might as well. But YouTube, like I said, YouTube is going to be the home for my more serious videos. Especially because like this listing that I have coming up, it's going to be over $1 million. The budget's higher on that one. And so that's my plan. Instagram's my baby. That's where we're going to live. Honestly, TikTok and YouTube are more of an afterthought, but we'll see.
Tuesday, Eric and I were together, went to a hockey game, but before that there was a little mastermind and Sharon was there to talking about 𝐌𝐸𝐤𝐚𝐢𝐤 and his things for 2025. And his biggest thing was basically making more how-to content on YouTube, because YouTube is where all of these AI platforms go to scrape and grab their information. So like basically the ChatGPT, Gemini, all these places go somewhere, and it's usually YouTube to go research where they're finding their answers. And so now on every YouTube video you put, there's a transcription of the entire thing automatically there. And so basically they take everything you say in the video, they put it on words, and then AI will scrape that to get the answers. And so like what he was suggesting was for agents to spend a lot of time, even if you have no followers and no views, just put out content that's like the how-to stuff, the stuff that I just said I'm not shooting more of in 2025 that I'm leaving behind. But you put that onto YouTube, even if you have no followers or whatever, because it'll transcribe it and then the AI will scrape it. And YouTube's doing a lot better job showing smaller creators too. So you'll be able to get your stuff seen. And a YouTube view is worth like 30x an Instagram view. So keep going with the YouTube stuff. And you said you were doing like more of your serious stuff there. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is like, do it. Like obviously the entertaining stuff for Instagram, but YouTube, the how-to stuff and the actual valuable stuff, put it there.
Okay, so I'm hearing that I should just make videos about how I'm the greatest Salt Lake agent, and then the AI will scrape that, and then when someone Googles good agent in Salt Lake.
I tell you what, I did that on ChatGPT, and I did put who's the best real estate agent in San Diego. I don't know why I was number 3 on the list, but I did make the list of the top 4, which was kind of interesting. I like that.
That's amazing, actually.
It's not that amazing. First
unbelievable.
Of all, it's not that crazy.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, 𝐤𝐤𝐚𝐢𝐤, every video should be top Utah real estate agent should be your title. So anytime someone searches, you just pop up every single time. I think that's a good strategy.
Salt Lake City just came out of the blue in 2024. I feel like. I mean, we always had Paige and Dustin, and then now we've got Michael Perry, we've got Caitlin. Like Salt Lake City has a roster.
We even got our own Bravo show.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
I saw that. My wife watches that. I have not. Have you watched that, Eric?
No.
No, my friend Tina's on it.
There you go. I saw Paige on it. I was watching Sunday Night Football, and she was in like the clip, the demo.
Oh yeah, Paige is on it too. Yes. Yep. Paige isn't a regular cast member, but she shows up because she's, again, hot shit.
Speaking of Paige, we have, I don't know if you've even seen this, Jason, because this came on this popped up on Instagram right as we came live. We have an early Bammy. We have an early Bammy nominee. We have an early nomination for Video of the Year. Recruited to Marketer of the Week right now, Shane Bergman, Derek Gregory. Let's watch this video.
Gentlemen, you can't outrun a downline. Get in the car. What just happened out there? And why did you take his shoes? In case we run out of firewood.
It's been 3 years and we're still on the run. We've been cold called, ambushed, and cornered at conventions. But we've always found a way out. Together. However, I'm starting to see the cracks in our foundation.
Hey, Shane, have you seen my phone?
No, you ask yourself, what exactly are we running from?
What are you watching over there?
I know we had some rules.
No conferences, no masterminds, and no podcasts.
Just trying to learn a couple of things. But rules are meant to be broken. I used to think we were partners, like co-agents on the same listing. Now, it feels like we're circling a cul-de-sac.
Who's calling you?
Take a wild guess.
They are relentless.
They're committed. You probably think their offer is too perfect, like a model home. But aren't you tempted to move in?
This is my first time on a Tom Ferry stage. There's no way, man.
My favorite ginger, Shane Bergman.
I finally see the appeal in their pitch. Community, opportunity, rev share. I know there's a better life out there for me. And that's why I've decided to join Real. I'm on my way.
It's about time.
All right. Well,
we can't. I wouldn't have picked that as
you're right.
Our first Marketer of the Week because I know how saturated with Real. I was with Paige on Monday or Tuesday. Obviously, I knew this was coming. I would have steered away because it's so Real specific. That being said, I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Amazing video.
Good job.
Are you guys both with Real?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Jason,
do you want to be though?
No.
Eric?
But thank you.
We do have production minimums to partake in rev share. Eric doesn't.
Oh,
sell
thank
houses.
God! I know Sharana was telling me. By the way, to set the record straight, it wasn't just Jason and I at the hockey game. It was 30 other dudes in a suite. Not that it matters.
Paige was there.
Jason.
Dustin was there. Salt Lake City was represented actually.
Paige was not at the hockey game.
Oh shoot, touche. She was at the mastermind before.
Yeah. Anyway, amazing video by
job,
Shane and Derek.
Good job, Derek.
But you're right, Jason. That was a mistake on my part.
We committed to not having as much Real propaganda in 2025.
Correct, exactly. So if you're watching this, you're not with Real, please send us a message. We need more content creators, more agents to come on, like Caitlin.
Or maybe I'm with Real. So maybe what maybe the problem is that all the cool people are at Real.
Wait,
we're
going to
have to cut.
Overrepresented here.
We're going to have to cut the majority of this. Are you with Real?
Are you with Real?
I'm with Real, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to cut this entire last
segment. Just cut the whole
anyway,
episode. I had
you
no
just
idea.
dropping my downline, Eric. I'll
I
let
had
you.
no idea.
How about this for a title? I'm trying to come up with a title on the spot. How the emo viral realtor went from 1 to 80,000 followers in 2 months.
No, because I
Is
had
that
more
good?
than one.
She had more than one.
That's right.
No,
that's
from 1,400.
That's
How
a
about this?
lie.
Gained 80,000 followers in 3 months.
Gained 70.
79, 78.
6.
80,000 is a good round number. Anytime you could use numbers again in the titles, it helps. I think that will get a lot of clicks. Anyway, if you are a real estate agent and you are looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. If you need a resource in 2025, check out Reminder Media because they deliver these to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business roll in. That is an episode Thanks for watching the walkthrough. Go follow Realtor 𝐤𝐤𝐚𝐢𝐤. Let's get her to 85,000 followers. After this episode, draw inspiration from her content, and you're crushing it. Thank you so much for coming on. Jason, I'll see you next week.
Great job.